guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I will talk about the things that you need to know before applying as a healthcare aide here in Canada. So before I go into details, I will share to you a short or brief story of my healthcare aide journey here in Canada. I arrived here in Canada March 2014 and I started working as a healthcare aide on May 2014. So I had a 1-month break right after I arrived here in Canada. So the first healthcare aide job that I got was from a psychiatric hospital. It is actually a psych hospital for geriatrics or elderly people. Yes. The position that I got from that psychiatric hospital was a casual position. So when you say casual position, you're like an on-call or reliever. You get to give your own availability, and then from your own availability, they will call you or they will notify or inform you if those availabilities are booked for a shift. After I think 1 or 2 weeks, I got a call from a long-term care facility. So they called me for an interview for a healthcare aide position, which is a part-time position, all evenings. And fortunately, I got that position. So during those times, I was juggling 2 jobs, which was my part-time position and my casual position. And then fast forward to August 2014, I got a call from one of the biggest hospitals here in Edmonton, which is under Alberta Health Services, and they called me for an interview. Fortunately, I was also hired. So yeah, that's how I started working as a healthcare aide since I arrived here in Canada up until I got my RN license. Alright, so let's move on to the more important details. So let's start with where to apply. Here in Canada, most of the companies are encouraging everyone to apply online. And based from my own experience, those 3 jobs that I got as a healthcare aide were all online applications. I was hired by Alberta Health Services, Covenant Health, and Capital Care. So each one of them has their own websites, and probably I'll use the Alberta Health Services as an example. So if you type Alberta Health Services, it will direct you to their website. You can just Google it if you don't know the website. So you type Alberta Health Services, and then once you are in the website, there's a career page section. And then once you click that career page section, so it will direct you to the search engine. And then you can actually filter that search engine depending on the location that you are from and the job postings that you actually want to apply for. So it's actually plain and simple when you apply online. Most of the websites, they will ask you to sign up or to register an account. And you just have to follow the instructions. As long as you have a valid email address, you can just put that on your registration, and that's it, you're done. So let's move on to the next topic, and that would be credentials. So if you are applying for a healthcare aide job here in Alberta, they are now requiring you to have a healthcare aide certificate. I'm not quite sure for the other provinces, but from my experience when I arrived here 2014, Alberta seems to be the most lenient when it comes to healthcare aide certification. Why did I say that? When I arrived here, I actually heard already a lot of stories coming from other immigrants in other provinces, and they are saying that in their province, a healthcare aide certification is part of the requirement. But during that time, here in Alberta, when I applied for a healthcare aide job, they didn't actually require any healthcare aide certification that is coming from Alberta. So when I was hired, they only require my diploma or my board certificate from the Philippines. So back then, my RN degree was equivalent to the healthcare aide certification here in Alberta. However, they changed everything in 2016. They started requiring all of the applicants for a healthcare aide certification. That should be coming from Alberta. Okay guys, so let's move on to the next topic, and that would be the job description of a healthcare aide here in Canada. I know for some of you, you've been wondering what are the tasks or responsibilities of a healthcare aide here in Canada. So, as a healthcare aide here, you are responsible for the activities of daily living of your patient or client. So, when you say activities of daily living, that will consist of bathing or shower, mobility assistance, toileting, grooming or dressing, transferring the patient, meal setup or feeding if they need to. And then being a healthcare aide is an important role for the whole healthcare team. You get to work with your nurses. So just so you know, healthcare aides here in Canada are unregulated. When you say unregulated, they don't have any license, and they are working under the supervision of a LPN, which is the licensed practical nurse, or the registered nurses. So in my experience, aside from assisting the patients with their ADLs from the hospital that I was working before, we were actually allowed to take vital signs and monitor blood sugars as long as the patient is stable and non-acute. But other than that, the nurses are the ones who's doing it. And now let's move on to the last topic, which is the juiciest one out of the four. And that would be the salary range of a healthcare aide. From my experience, I was working in a government hospital and we are unionized. So I will give you a short definition of what a union is. It is an organization type. They are usually called a bargaining unit, which acts as a bargaining agent and legal representative for a unit of employees in all matters of law or right arising from or in the administration of a collective agreement. So basically, the union is actually working on your wages, work hours, benefits, workplace health and safety, and other work-related issues. So they are working on that. It is actually good to have a union because you will really feel that you are well supported if ever something happens. So I will give you the salary range of a healthcare aide coming from my union. So the starting salary of a healthcare aide is $19.92. And that is the hourly rate. So we are paid here by the hour. So if you're working an 8-hour shift, that would only be a 7.75 hours because of the unpaid break. Then you multiply it by $19.92, and then the total salary for your whole 8-hour shift is $154.38, basing from the starting salary range. And then the maximum is $24.95. So $24.95 times 7.75 hours. So you're getting $193.36 in the whole 8-hour shift. And then on top of that, if you're working evenings or nights, you get to have an additional pay. For your salary range, you get to step up each year, especially if you are a full-time employee. It is expected already that you're gonna step up every year for your salary range. But if you are a part-time employee, it will take more time for you to step up because your salary grade will base from your number of hours. So you need to accumulate a certain number of hours in order for you to step up on your salary grade. So I think that would be everything for this video. So if you have any questions, just write a comment down below, or you can also send me a message on my social media accounts, and I will really try my best to reply on your messages. So I hope that you gained something from this video, and for any one of you who is planning to apply as a healthcare aide here in Canada, I wish you all the best, and just keep on applying until you get that position. So that's it, and thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!